Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It is time for your daily leads. It is Wednesday, the 16th of June. It is fixture day. We will find out at 9 a.m, just in 3 hours' time, who we will be playing on the opening day of the Premier League season. I will be reacting live to that, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. There's a watermark there. I will get it right one time. You can subscribe to the channel, get your notification bell on, and you can watch that live stream that will be dropping in just 3 hours' time as I react to the news of who we've got in the Premier League season. That is soon upon us, yeah. But before we do get into the rest of the video, listen, it's a good video today. We've got plenty of transfer links. We've got some news on stadiums, everything's going on currently at Leeds, Elland Road and Thorp. And that's what you're here for. But before we do get to that, as always, smash a like, subscribe, comment, and of course get your notification bell on and enjoy this jam-packed show. So we're going to start first of all, of course, guys, with the news that the Premier League fixtures for 21-22 are released today at 9 a.m. The fixtures will be released, as I say, and I will react live to them on the Just Joe Football Show. I'll set up a stream. Make sure you come and join me. Get involved in the chat. Get your notification bell on, and we will do that together. I'm also going to give you some transfer news on Mr. Calvin Phillips. It's a bit of a funny one. Apparently, Real Madrid are planning to monitor Leeds United midfielder Calvin Phillips after his performance for England on Sunday. 25 million. I mean, whoever's created this story needs to give their head a shake, because there is not a cat in hell's chance that he is leaving Leeds United anyway, and certainly not for 25 million. And I dare say Real Madrid aren't just looking after him at that one game. You know what I mean? I don't know where they make it up. Some other news on Calvin. Glenn Hoddle has been speaking about him and just saying, look, not only about what he did for England at the weekend on Sunday, but his performances for the Whites overall this season will have big clubs looking for him. There aren't many bigger than Leeds, but naturally, you know, we all thought this transfer window was going to be involving Rafinha. That's all gone quiet now, and it's all about Calvin, the Three Lions Calvin. We're going to have to put up with this stuff for the rest of the summer, it would seem. Both Rafinha and Calvin will be linked to clubs aplenty, but trust me, they're not going anywhere. Ignore it. But Glenn Hoddle's right. You know, he's right in saying that, you know, big clubs are going to look at him. Why wouldn't you? What he did on Sunday was absolutely unbelievable, and I expect more of the same on Friday as we beat the Scots. Calvin did do a little interview, and I feel a little bit vindicated because some people have given me grief with the amount of love that I've been showing for Mason Mount during the England watch-alongs. But I think he's an absolute baller. And Phillips actually said that who would he most like to work with at club level? He said it's a hard one, but I'd probably say Mason Mount. He said I feel like me and Mason get on quite well, but just not only in the way we play, the way he presses in his position, and some of the position he gets himself into, he would suit Leeds down to the ground, and he'd probably take Marcelo Bielsa's tactics on board straight away, and will become a superstar at Leeds United. Listen, I'd love Mason Mount at Leeds, but there's no way Leeds Chelsea, Champions League winning Chelsea, to come to Leeds United. But I feel vindicated in saying that Mason Mount is a good baller, because my boy Calvin Phillips believes so, and believes that he would rock up at Leeds and be an absolute superstar. No doubt he would, but it's never going to happen. Some other things that are definitely not going to happen. We've had an update on Nafi Hernandez of Cagliari. Obviously, we've been interested in him apparently last summer and this summer, but Cagliari's director of football, Stefano Capusco, has denied that Leeds have made an offer for the midfielder. He came out and spoke and said, look, some clubs have been in touch, but Leeds United is definitely not one of them. So Nafi Hernandez, the midfielder that Graham Smith has said previously, Leeds like, and they know they're going to get done. They know who they want. It's not Nafi Hernandez. And another one that's definitely not coming, and this is going to break your heart. I've seen it spill out on Twitter, and I've seen a lot of Leeds fans in tears, cry emojis all over the shop. Some still don't believe it's true. But when Fabrizio Romano comes out and tweets it, you know there's got weight to it. And he's tweeted out yesterday evening that De Paul is going to Atletico Madrid. The deal is almost done for 35 million euros. And apparently the contract is already agreed. Rodrigo De Paul is going to Atletico Madrid. If I wouldn't get copyright, I would play you James Blunt. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one You have been the one for me. Yeah, he's gone. He's going to Atletico Madrid. That's gone. And a player that apparently we are interested in, of course, we know we're after left backs aplenty. We've been linked with Javi Galán. We've been linked with Perrault. We've been linked with Cornet. We're going to chat about Maxwell Cornet in a little bit more detail. I touched on him yesterday in the video, but we're going to give it a little bit more detail today. But another one that's been linked previously and has come back again is the left back Borna Barisic from Rangers. Apparently Leeds still have an interest in him. I'm not so sure on that one. He has been linked previously, but one that has sort of seems to be gathering pace is Maxwell Cornet. And the brilliant Joe Donoghue at Leeds United Live has done a piece on that. I'm going to share that with you now. The link is in the description for the full article. But he says, you know, and I was speaking yesterday on my stream, I think the thing with Maxwell Cornet is I want a specialised left back. And what I mean by that is I want a left back who started his career as a left back, has always played as a left back, and that's his only position. We already have a winger / left back in Gianni Alioski, and I'm thinking we're getting more of the same with Maxwell Cornet. Now, naturally, Maxwell Cornet is better than Alioski. You know, he played for Lyon, he's played at some good clubs, and he's played, you know, higher up the pitch. I remember, listen, my football knowledge isn't always the best, but I remember having him on a FIFA card, and when you're getting in forms and that, it knows you're a baller. You know, that's the extent of Wayman's football knowledge. That's why I have to look to people like Joe Donoghue and people that know a lot more about the game than me to you know, get my knowledge up on specific players. Anyway, he's done a piece on the comparison between Cornet and Alioski. He said, look, the obvious observation from these transfer targets and their similar styles is that they mirror Alioski, once a left winger himself. Statistically speaking, Cornet appears the closest match to Alioski. Both represent a goal threat in terms of scoring themselves and creating for others. Both are responsible passers of the ball, but struggle to distribute over longer distances and are inherently progressive, looking to move the ball forward at each appropriate juncture. Over the past 12 months, Cornet has averaged 4.14 progressive passes per 90. Over the same period, Alioski has averaged 4.17 progressive passes per 90. Admittedly, for a team whose first priority is to play forwards. Cornet's defensive output is decent for a player with little defensive background, suggesting his fundamentals are well-founded. His pressing would need to improve in order to play in a Bielsa team, although that is something which can easily be schooled up with a rigorous pre-season. Comparing the two players from a visual standpoint is like splitting hairs. Although Cornet is a tad more confident and making inroads towards the penalty area, most likely due to his experience as a winger with Lyon, the stats back this up as well. Over the past year, Cornet averages 0.5 carries into the penalty area per 90, whereas Alioski manages just 0.15. In a more transitional side like Leeds, spaces may be available for Cornet to exploit on the counter-attack. On the whole, the pair measure up fairly similarly, with one key difference. Cornet is 5 years Alioski's junior. Despite his age, Cornet is also much more experienced at the top level of European football, as he closes in on 200 Liga appearances. If Victor Orta wants to add a player with Alioski's attributes, it gives Bielsa 5 healthy years to work with before he turns to Alioski's age. It may be an investment worth making. And that's Joe Donoghue's thoughts on Cornet and the link, you know, and the similarities between Alioski. It is a big thing that he's 5 years younger. He's played, you know, over 200 games in Liga at a top club, played in Europe. He has the pedigree, but I think he's not a defender. Do you know what I mean? That's where my opinion lies. And I'm thinking about the piece that Joe did on Javi Galán and what he can bring. And Javi Galán was second only to Lionel Messi for dribbles per 90. I think Javi Galán is much cheaper than what Cornet is as well. And I want a left back. You know what I mean? A specialised left back, not a winger come left back. I suppose a lot of them were wingers when they were in youth football. That's normally the case, in it. Right backs, I think Gary Neville said before, right backs are just failed right wingers, etc. But I want a left back, and I think we should go for Javi Galán. But Maxwell Cornet is one that won't go away, so, you know, watch this space. But if you want to read that full article, the link is in the description. Speaking of left backs, I'm going to bring it to Gianni Alioski. Obviously, we spoke yesterday about the issue with Arnautović and him coming out and saying, look, I'm not a racist. I get on with players from all other countries, but it was clear there was an outburst. It was clear there was something aimed at Alioski. I said as much on Twitter. I said as much on my stream. I just automatically assumed Alioski said something when he went to strike the ball, and he's turned around and said, look, I've scored. You know, he was doing a lot of this. I'm pointing. He was doing this. I'm pointing. I'm the man. However, it seems to be a little bit more sinister than that. And UEFA have confirmed that they have opened an investigation into Austrian striker Marko Arnautović, specifically because of his outburst that was aimed at Leeds United's Gianni Alioski during the game. Now, I've done a bit of digging. I don't know if there's a lot of... It was hard to find, but apparently Arnautović has said, I am your Albanian mother. Okay, now if you look at the footage, there is a lot of this, there is this, there is this. It would make sense. And apparently that's what's being said. I am your Albanian mother, which isn't great. Of course, it's not. Now, Alioski's come out and said, I don't know what he told me, reflecting on the game. He said his words were hard to understand against the background noise. There are things like that in every game. The most important thing is that we shook hands in the end. That was all clear. I did not hear what he said as the fans were celebrating, but we spoke in German after the match and agreed after the match. It's something that happens during the game, you know, with the emotions running high, but it's best when everything is clarified. And he has said, I'm leaving it in the hands of UEFA. So from Alioski's point, it sounds like he's not wanting to say too much. I'm only assuming, and assuming's not always going to get you, you know, the right answer. But is he just saying that in front of the cameras? He's basically, because there is obviously a case to answer, otherwise UEFA wouldn't have investigated it. If Gianni didn't hear anything derogatory, he wouldn't have known what he was saying, and therefore nothing would have had to have been investigated. So for me, Gianni has heard something, and it has been reported. You know, so Gianni's saying, oh, I didn't really hear, so why are they reporting it? Who's heard it? I don't know. I'm just guessing. But something's been said to Gianni. I'm reading that apparently it was what I said. So, you know, that's not on. And if it's, you know, got, I guess, national racial connotations due to things that have happened over in the countries with the splitting up of countries, look, I don't know. There's guys that will know a lot more than me, but there's definitely something that's happened there, and it's going to be investigated. So we'll have to watch this space on that one. Moving on, there is another link that I've seen coming from the Ghanaian press. I know, check me out checking Ghanaian press, but apparently Ghanaian captain Andre Ayew is wanted at Leeds. We will rival Celtic for the signature of him. The report from the player's homeland in Ghana says that Leeds are looking to him as a valuable addition given his experience in the Premier League, having been with West Ham and Swansea. Obviously, he didn't get promoted this time around. He has worked previously with Bielsa at Marseille. Celtic are interested in him. He's on a free. He's out of contract. I don't see it happening. It seems very strange. But if he's on a low wage, he is someone that could do a job. He can play anywhere across the front. There's no transfer fee involved. I'm not saying Ayew, you know, is the pinnacle and yeah, let's get him. That would be a great signing. And a lot of people would be frustrated if he came in. And I don't know if there's a lot of truth to it. In the article, as I say, it's only really coming from the Ghanaian press, but he's on a free. And Andre Ayew, I know he was a championship player, but he's played with Bielsa before and could do a job off the bench and would be a decent squad player. If you look at our squad and substitutions we've made in the past, we've been lacking in that area, whereas Ayew would give you something different, and he does have that, you know, experience needed in the Premier League. I know a lot of you will be going, Andre Ayew, get over it, but you know, it's one worth watching out for. Some more youth links. Obviously, I brought you the news the other day that Leeds United are looking to sign future England #1 Darrell Ombang from Bradford City. Been speaking to my friend who's actually a coach there and says he has been linking up with Leeds. I've seen the link, but he basically, my friend wasn't giving me anything, is what I'm saying, okay? But he says he's a very, very good keeper. And another young player we've been linked with, we are in advanced talks to sign Birmingham sensation Miller, which will be a blow to Everton. It's Amari Miller. He is the 18-year-old forward. He made a big impression after breaking into the Birmingham side in the final weeks of the season. However, it's turned out that Leeds have moved quickly to offer him a contract. He's been offered pro terms by Birmingham City, but when Leeds come knocking, and we've been so aggressive in the pursuit of the country's best young talent, you know, Cody Drama, Joe Geldhart, Sam Greenwood, Darrell Mbang, and it now looks like we're going after Amari Miller, and we are beating a lot of these clubs, Liverpool, Manchester United, and now Everton. We seem to be beating Everton to a lot of signatures. Maybe Carlo Ancelotti leaving has left them in a bit of a muddle. Some more big news now, less transfer, but of course we found out yesterday that Leeds are looking to increase the stadium size to not 50k but 55,000. You know, we were planning to build the training ground at the former Matthew Murray school site. However, that has been stopped. They're no longer planning to do that because we're looking to expand Elland Road to a 55,000 capacity, and that is seen as a more immediate priority. Obviously, the Premier League has gone well. We've finished in the top 10. We've got further investment from the 49ers. It's going to be considered next week by the Leeds Council Executive Board. Of course, it's going to go through that. And as I say, we're no longer going to be purchasing the Brown Lane East plot. The training base will remain at Thorp for the foreseeable future. But however, we're looking to develop 2 stands in a staggered approach. And we've earmarked Elland Road for a capacity increase, not to 50, as initially was mooted, but since investment from 49ers, it prompted a change in the plans that we're looking to increase to 55,000-seater stadium, which will be absolutely amazing, increase the atmosphere, increase the bodies in, more season ticket holders, more people in the stadium, better noise. What we don't want to do is lose I love our stadium, you know what I mean? It's got that old vibe. We don't need to lose any of that. Parag Marafa said as much and came out and said, look, we don't want to lose the atmosphere that this stadium creates. We're not going to tear it down and build a brand new Bull stadium with all these fancy mod cons. Of course, we want the mod cons as well, but it'll be interesting to see when they start developing. What they're going to do is move people around and stuff, but I'm excited. Let's get more people in that ground. Some Leeds United ladies. So Leeds United ladies have confirmed the signing of exciting young winner Paige Williams from Liverpool Feds. So all good. Remember yesterday, they're going to be playing at Tadcaster Albion. You can go support the Leeds United ladies, guys, if you want to. Their season starts in August and all their games will be played at Tadcaster Albion. And of course, yesterday was the anniversary of Marcelo Bielsa, 3 years at the club. It was 3 years to the day that we signed him, and my life as a Leeds United fan was changed and flipped on its head. It was absolutely amazing. And we're just going to finish with some beautiful comments that have come from his compatriots in the game, that laud him. So Pep Guardiola said they destroyed the championship. It's a gift to the Premier League to have Bielsa here because his teams are always a joy to watch. They are honest, always want to attack and produce good football for the fans. Jurgen Klopp said, I congratulated every one of their team. What a team they are. Unbelievable. I will watch them quite often. Brendan Rodgers said they play in a respectful way. They don't argue with referees so much. They have a great integrity in the game. I've enjoyed watching them and preparing to play against them. Tommy Tuchel said there will be a lot of intensive runs from Leeds. Their midfield is flexible and they are very attacking. They try to win every game, so they are brave and have courage. And Carlo Ancelotti said they play really well. They're a dynamic team. We knew this. They have a clear idea of football, create a lot of problems for teams they play against. It's a really, really good team. And that's the top managers in the Premier League speaking about Bielsa on our side. My Leeds United, your Leeds United. It's amazing. What 3 years it's been, and long may it continue into 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if it'll be alive in 10 years. I shouldn't really talk about that, but yeah. Just give us as long as you can, Bielsa. We love you, man. And I love each and every one of you that watch this video. Make sure you stick around, be here at 9 o'clock for a live reaction to the Premier League fixtures. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments, and of course hit that notification bell. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Peace out. Leeds.